Okay, so now either bishop to b5, which creates some pressure over this knight, or maybe bishop to e2 might be a better option for white so that he can keep an eye over this knight. But here Anand decides to exchange the bishops with knight by bishop takes e4. And now look at these connected pawns carefully. This is going to give a significant advantage to black in the future. And after that, queen to d6 by Arjun, threatening queen to h2 check and then queen to h1 mate. So to stop this, g3. And in the next move, white can bring this bishop to f4, which is going to target this queen. Okay, so here c5 by Arjun, attacking this knight, and as I said previously, bishop to f4 might be possible, but here Vishy decides to defend this knight back to e2. And guys, this is a very good move, placing this bishop to placing this bishop to this f3 square will be a very great move. And basically we are placing this bishop permanently on f3 square, which is eyeing on this h1 diagonal. But instead here Arjun goes for queen to e6, attacking this pawn on h3. And since this b2 pawn is attacked, so white can defend this by rook to d2, and some of you might be thinking of the move rook to b1, but guys, this move will create some trouble for white in the future, because first of all black will capture this knight on e2 by bishop takes e2. Why? Because after rook takes e2, and what's next, guys? In the next move, black can go for this amazing move rook to a6 with the idea of rook to h6, creating some pressure over this h3 pawn. And yeah, white can easily guard this by rook to h1 and then stepping out the king. But it's not easy for white to defend this position. In my view, white has to be precise. But after rook takes a2, yeah, in this position here Anand goes for bishop to f4, giving a free pawn to Arjun, which he instantly grabbed. And now in this position Vishy shocks everyone by sacrificing his queen by queen takes e5, and obviously black cannot capture this queen due to this back rank mate, so that's why. A great move by Vishy, because let's suppose if rook takes b1, then after rook takes b1, and again you can see black cannot capture this bishop due to this mate. Okay, so in the actual game after rook to b1, here Arjun goes for. And guys, let me know in the comments that why Vishy gives up this c pawn. Okay, so in this position, white can go for this amazing move g6 check. This is because if king takes g6, rook to g1 check, king to f5, and finally rook takes g7. And let me go back to the move g6, and let's suppose if black decides to capture with the f pawn, and you can see this creates this double pawn structure, as well as this capture also isolates this e4 pawn. Okay, so in the actual game after king to h7, here Vishy goes for bishop to e3. Anand decides to guard this, and maybe he can go for rook to g1 in future so that he can support this pawn. So to stop this, king to g6 by Arjun, and he is also preparing to bring this king further to f5 so that he can somehow support these pawns. And in this position, both players agrees for a draw. What an amazing game by Vishy, and remember he is 56. This is your host Bison signing off. Bye bye.